Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very different episode here for Boss Rush Games. This is going to serve as Nintendo Power Block, episode 219, but it's also going to be Friday's bonus episode, expansion pack, 1v1, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be our kind of transition episode, like I said before. I'm your host, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is that Retro Code Eddie V.
Hello, everybody.
Before we get started, Ed, this is kind of going to act as the transition episode. I did a half-hour episode earlier this week, if you're listening to this on time. If not, well, you know.
It's up there.
Yeah. I am stepping down as host of Nintendo Power Block to kind of, we are kind of restructuring some things, and Ed is taking over as host of Nintendo Power Block. Obviously, as Deshaun put it, it's actually hilarious that Ed is not the host of a Nintendo podcast at this point, and not gonna lie, I kind of agree with him, but how are you doing, Ed? How are you? We didn't have our normal episode this week, so
I was feeling like different emotions. So I've been with work today. I've been good. I've been on a good stroll, just positive and trying to find stuff to do because we just had inventory. And then I got super excited because I heard there was a mini partners direct, and I'm like, what is everybody not being in the know? But then I told you this morning, at the time before we did this recording, that I watched the video and I messaged you just I'm watching it and I'm doing my best not to get emotional. I'm because the moment something happens, it's the moment something's gonna happen to me, and it's just I can't be there physically to be be in your presence. It's just be man, look at what we've done and created over the 6+ years, and just how we began and stuff. Two different journeys could end up colliding together to make this fun ride and everything. And I was I was just thinking this morning, and just saying to myself, I actually got a bro him, a best friend to talk about Nintendo stuff, because I couldn't talk video games or anything about Nintendo with anybody, and do this in a podcast manner and stuff. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. Just preparing for the future and everything. And just taking it in and everything, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good.
Yeah, so we've kind of Boss Rush is kind of really big in terms of how many people we have now, and I think we're kind of positioning people in terms of running specific teams, and I just thought it really made sense for you to run the Nintendo team, right? I think we kind of agree on that, and I don't know if I made it unclear or not. I'm not leaving the show. I'm taking a couple weeks off to focus on the Xbox stuff, because obviously Xbox, and we have an Xbox podcast and we have a Destiny podcast, and both of those subjects are going to be getting a lot of attention in the next few weeks, right? With the Series X launch and Beyond Light for Destiny coming out, and I'm not leaving the show, really, right? I'm gonna try to be on as much as I can be, right? And
right.
I just thought, with everything going on and how the teams are structured and the way that people have responded to you and Celeste and David and Daniel, and it's just been this is the right time. And honestly, I told you when I asked you to do this a couple, maybe last week, I guess.
Last week, yeah.
I've actually been thinking about doing this for a long time, probably about 2-ish or 3 months, asking you to host, because I feel like as much as we both love Nintendo, your Nintendo fandom is on like another level. You know, it's part of, it's just part of who you are, you know, and being the champion of Nintendo on Pow Block. And I know we always give you a hard time on the other shows when you're on them. You know, I mean, it's a running, like it's a running inside joke, you know, that
you said it correctly on part one, when you was talking about, you know, when I'm on Xbox, it felt like Nintendo Power Block 2.0, and I was just like, okay, no shade, all tea, truth. You know, because it was just, when I think about it, a lot of comparisons that I've made to Xbox has always been with Nintendo, and I'm guilty of that. and now I know when I'm on AX, it's just like, okay, how do I be able to get this company's name across without actually saying the company name, so I don't have to pay anything.
I just I don't know. I think it's the right move, and you know, even if I wasn't super busy doing other things, or you know, this was what we were doing, and we like, it was just the three of us again. Like, I think the way I would position it is still the same. You know, like this thought crossed my mind like a year ago. I was like, man, what if Ed just hosted, like when we brought it back for the first time? I was like, what if Ed just hosted Pow Block this time around? And I was like, let's just keep it how it was. This is what people like. This is what people wanted. And like, now with Celeste and you and like, I can't tell you how positive the response has been to like just the chemistry that you and Celeste have on like people, that response. And like, it's almost to the point, and not in like a bad way or anything, it's almost to a point where like when there's four of us on the show and like, you know, Daniel's on, or like, you know, David guests on sometimes, like I almost feel out of place, you know, but like in a good way. Like, I think the show thrives on that, and I think it does well, you know, and I think this is a good time to do it. I think we're with Boss Rush, our plans for Boss Rush 3.0 are kind of fleshing out. Although we've had a little bit of a hiccup this week with some things, but nothing we ever dealt with before. But I think this is the time. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I kind of want to say this first. Like, you taking over AX, like you had gave me AX when we was on NGR and when we was on Codename NX, and you know, I was trying to do my best to be an Xbox Souls, but you know, scheduling problems, and it kind of felt like, as much as I talk about Xbox, the Nintendo residue is always on it, is always in me, and so taking over Power Block, and you know, to me at first I was shocked by it. I was just like, you know, and I kind of felt like, are you sure? Because I'm like, this is something that you build up, and I'm writing along, being a co-host, being whatever you need me to be, and stuff, and do. And
I mean,
you know,
this is how I started doing content on the internet, was Nintendo. I started writing a Nintendo blog, right? Like, that was how I started, and I always wanted to do a Nintendo podcast. And then I don't know. And then it started as a segment, right? When I would go, Pow Block, you know, like you told me to do that on this episode, Pow Block, you know, like it was a dumb, like, I don't know, something I felt like we had to do because it was a YouTube show for, you know, like a 15-minute YouTube show when it first started with me and Joey all the way back in the day. And then I was like, I really want to turn this into a podcast. And then like the stuff that happened with DNA just kind of was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like that fell apart. And, you know, we started talking and we just did it, you know, like we just did it. You, me, and Adrian, and then you, me, and Kyle, and then you, me, and Jesse, and then, you know, like now it's you, me, and Celeste, and it's just been like, it's always been you and me, man. Like, it's wild.
It's something that, like I said, me and you were both on our own journeys in video game podcasting and doing stuff, and then being able to come together to do this and everything. And still, we do different things, but we like when we get together and just hang out and talk and stuff. It's still just a great feeling, you know. I feel like the chemistry of our friendship is a good example. Like I was telling Celeste on our 1v1 that I hope you guys check out, which is that when me, you, and Jesse work together, it always feels like a family. And then that chemistry with our family works, and you know we're getting more brothers and sisters gaming and stuff. And thinking about the past, working on the Power Block, like, you know that if I couldn't make it, I hated not being able to make it. But when I can, and I didn't have to do 15,000 other stuff, I was driving like out from work. I was driving like a bat out of hell. Like, and you probably got some old texts from me to be like, Corey, I will be there in 25 minutes. I'm hitting 75 trying to get home to get online to talk to you about Nintendo, because like I said, it just, being able to talk about Breath of the Wild, or being able to talk about Mario, being able to see all the retro stuff that you have for Nintendo and that I don't have, and be like, I get so excited. But you know, and that's just my hypeness. That's just my happiness growing up as a kid. Like I once again, little side things into the 1v1. Growing up as a kid, I didn't have friends and stuff. You know, when it came to video games, it was I was at an arcade when I got $1 when I went shopping, or if I did play a video game, it was only to help somebody through one section, and then it was told me to go away until I got my own Nintendo and stuff. Like, and like Nintendo was like my brother in a sense, and it taught me a lot of things about games and giving me the skill and stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry for that side tangent and everything. And I hope as a host that I try not to bring a lot of side tangents, but this is Boss Rush and this is blah blah. This probably gonna be some side tangents and stuff, because I get into conversations and get happy recreating, and definitely taking this role for Power Block. You know, I really hope that the listeners continue to enjoy it, continue to laugh, and you know, check out some Nintendo stuff and everything, because I think I always say Nintendo, they get kind of out as everything and get seen as like the third wheel or not important, but I'm like, Nintendo is still leading the gaming industry and is still being the representation of video games.
I mean, you just sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you just think,
go ahead.
like you said, Nintendo's leading the industry. Like you see everything Nintendo's endured, like the video game crash, the arcades coming out with the NES and being dominant, and then you know Super Nintendo and battled Sega, and you just think about all the companies that have come and gone since the NES came out, right? Like ColecoVision, Intellivision, Atari, Sega, Panasonic, you know, like all these companies just stopped making hardware, right? Like, and Sega went third party, and then Microsoft entered the game, and Nintendo has endured so much over the years, and you know they had huge consoles like the Super Nintendo, and they've had not so great things like the Virtual Boy, right? Like they've had these consoles that haven't done well, and then they have consoles that do spectacular. But there's one thing is like they're iconic. Their characters are iconic. Their games are iconic. The way that they present themselves is iconic, and I think it's always going to be a part of us, no matter what we do, 10, 20, 30 years from now, what are we doing? Still playing Nintendo probably? I don't know, but probably,
Yeah, I think Nintendo stood the test of time with their ups and downs, and you know, it's it's making people recognize that games could be for everybody, and you don't have to always depend on the biggest. And this is not a knock to Sony and Microsoft or anything. Sometimes you don't have to depend on the having the biggest tech or being able to do all this functionality. Because the thing about it is that stuff comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
And if your software and your games are inviting and easier to play and get you like hype and make you feel something, that's what really matters. And Nintendo does it a lot. And like I said, no shit. I'm not trying to be, disrespectful to Xbox players or Sony players or anything like that. The thing about it is that there are so much stuff that Nintendo has been up and down with in America and Japan and United Kingdom. They have had their ups and downs with their business, but yet they still stand. I tell Jesse this. I'm like, Nintendo doesn't focus on the biggest functionality and the biggest tech. They want people to play their games and enjoy them. And if they create memories and everything, they know that they succeeded in everything. I mean, just look at Mario 35th anniversary and everything. Look how people who not the GameCube, because PS2 was the biggest seller, that more people are wanting to play GameCube games on Switch, and people are not saying, "Oh, I want to play this PS2 game on my PS4, PS5. I want to play this Xbox game on my 360, not 360, on my Series X and stuff." Not a lot of people are saying particular games and stuff. Everybody's just like, I want to play a whole console generation on my new system, and I want to, because I missed out, or I hope that Sega Dreamcast comes to a Nintendo platform so I can play that generation. It's kind of amazing to see what Nintendo has done.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's why we're doing, like, they're the company of why we're doing this. Not just this, but like everything we're doing. It's why we're here. And so, before we kind of talk about what's happening in the near future with Boss Rush, I kind of want to talk to you about POW Block and what you kind of see as the future of POW Block. I know there are some notes in our group chat, right? Like, I think everybody kind of agreed to like a similar but different structure. I know you're going to add some flavor or some flair or something wild to the show. It's just you. So I want to know what you're thinking about doing with the show. We actually have a question. Hold on. Let me find it.
And because I do have answers.
Jack Brow says, can you share any new ideas you're looking into implementing sooner rather than later to the show?
Okay, so of course, Nintendo is staying. It's a mainstay. It can't go nowhere. Of course, we're still going to be news. And I'm renaming it Femi News. And so I'll be like, everybody, it's time for Femi News. Family news, like a take on Family Computer or the Famicom. We're still going to do Question Block. We're still going to talk about what we've been playing, and of course we're going to be doing lists, for some of our favorite lists and everything. But some of the new stuff I want to bring and I want to try and hope it works is I want to have quiz episodes so that kind of test the my co-hosts, and also the people who are watching and listening to it, if they know these answers, and to make it really easier that it's going to be multiple choice so people can have a chance to be able to, like, oh, I recognize that game, this is the answer, or be like, it feels like this. I might try, I might be wrong, and things like that. And it's just to have something fun with it. So maybe there might be a week that's passed. It might be a slow news week. So let's have a quiz and let's test our knowledge about Nintendo and really showcase how much we know, but what we could study and learn about this historic company. I got a thing called Game Fact Advance, and it's we're gonna come with at least with one fact from Nintendo and its history that people don't know. So we might actually talk about some of their musicians and other directors who created games, and just give a quick fact and be like, if you want to research it, go ahead and research it and things like that. Like I would love to be like Iwata made Pokemon because of this reason, and then just give a little blurb from it and be like, find more about Iwata stuff. I can't wait for that. I think that is it a Iwata Axe book coming out?
I think
I
so.
think in the future. I really can't wait for that to come out. I really want to buy it. I'm excited for it. Um, this is going to be a little stretch, but if possible, we do fan fiction reading about Nintendo characters, clean stuff, and so everybody would get a script and reread the story like it's an audio
Ed's
book.
bringing in Power Block After Dark.
I know I'm going to keep Pablo clean. This is a family show. I'm doing my best to keep it clean and stuff. I'm going to try my best, and hopefully we could get some devs and other creators on the show, and talk about their game and what's it like. I mean, and they don't have to go into full detail, but like what is it like creating a game for this console, and whether it sells or not, like seeing people excited, and if it gets physical, seeing more people excited. So I would like to do that, and then I would like to have a soundtrack sound off where we probably for that month or that week and stuff, that people go check out maybe a soundtrack that is fan created or that is coming from Nintendo games and stuff like that, and someone go listen to it, so when they're playing their favorite Nintendo game or stuff like that, they can go listen and everything. So I kind of, there's just some ideas that I want to bring to the table and everything. It may seem a lot and still keep it within 70 minutes, 70, 80 minutes. I'm really going to be timing stuff to be like, okay, I know this is going too long. I need to cut it. And definitely I got to cut myself off too as a host. I talk a lot.
This isn't like the old days where we could go for 3 hours and nobody would care. This is,
Look, when we talk
Celeste
about
and Dan
that,
want to go to bed.
dude, it like when we got into that Metroid game that we was talking about, and when we got talking about the trilogy of Breath of the Wild for like 3 hours, it was us bouncing off each other that made that thing long. So I am going to be trying to respect people's time and the listeners' time. Definitely your time, Corey, with editing and things like that. I really want to be like, okay, I see that it's getting close to that, so let me wrap it up. Everybody have a great night, have a great week, and then go about that. But for the new stuff, that's what I want to try and bring, and really try to, like, it's an optional opinion kind of thing, and I gotta learn it. Trying to bring something new and different that hasn't been done, in regular podcasts, like, and shake it up a little bit so that see how it goes. If people like it, we'll do more. If not, they'll probably write in and be like, I don't like you doing that section, and so we won't do it as often, or we'll completely stop. But I just don't want to have the same formula, going on. And it's not a knock to you, Corey, or anything, but we know the podcast formula, how it goes, and so if it's going to be something new, we got to bring in something fresh and new. So that's kind of what my ideas and plans are, and we might actually still do a book club and stuff. It may be for a game that we may play for that month and stuff, and we spend 15 minutes talking about it, or maybe like an indie game that we get ready, and if we get that developer on, we have all played it, gave our precious, and then like talk to that indie developer about it, like behind the scenes stuff. So um that's what I hope to do.
You gonna get a new theme song?
Actually, yes. So I actually called Jesse and I talked to him, and he's gonna be working on some things in the future. I'll talk to you a little bit more off the cuff in a sense, to tell you like what kind of direction I want to kind of go with that thing and stuff. But yeah, and hopefully everybody I can learn the recording process, the producing behind the scenes, and so when to give Boss Man a break, and so that when we go live, everything gets right, make it. Corey's producing it, even though he is resting. Take gets the where it needs to be stepped up. What?
You froze a little bit.
Oh, Skype once again.
Yeah, Skype's great.
I want to step. Yeah, I want to step up from and really help out. So like, to help allow Corey to do more, so he could get some more gaming and do some more producing with Arsenal X and with Taurus Casual, so that he doesn't have to worry, that it's in good hands and everything is loaded up and done right. And when he if it's a show that he hasn't produced, or and everything, that he sees it and it makes him proud and stuff. So that's what my plans are. I want to step up and do a lot. Hopefully I can. And if I got to do a one-man show like Corey does, you guys have heard me on Arsenal X. You know how I do one-man shows. So
I mean, there's enough people on the team to where I don't think we're gonna have to do that. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna be around. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just So, but, all right. Sorry, I want to read some of these comments for you.
Okay.
Megan wrote said, Ed, you were meant for this role. You're going to kill it with Celeste. I can't wait to hear the new take on one of my favorite shows. And then Sam Hall said, Ed, you've always been my favorite part of Nintendo Power Block. Your excitement is infectious, and your hot takes really make me laugh sometimes. Celeste, you've brought a great voice you've brought a great voice and ground the show in a really special way. Can't wait. So those are some of the comments. There's more, but I'll wait till we get to somewhere that that part of the show where they integrate better. So but people are excited for you, Ed. I'm not gonna lie. People are happy.
It means, it really does mean a lot. I know my hot takes are out there, but like I said, I try to think outside the box as much as I can to give my answer. And if I feel like I can't think outside the box and just go to the normal answer, I'll do that. And so
yeah. So what?
And I apologize in advance, boss. I don't try to make you feel frustrated. I see part one, I was just like, do I really frustrate him at times? I'm sorry.
I mean, you do, but whatever. It's fine. Not in like a anger-inducing way. It's just like it's like, sometimes when you hear somebody say something, you just roll your eyes a little bit and then you just let it go. That's how it goes.
I was just like, did I do something? No.
I'm not afraid to tell you things, Ed. You know that.
That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the future is really bright for Power Block. I mean, long-running shows change hosts all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, I think sometimes it's for the better. A lot of the time it's for the better, especially when I mean, I'm gonna I think like I said on the other episode, I haven't had a chance to play my Switch in a long time, and I haven't been keeping up with the Nintendo stuff because of the new console launches, and I have to like prepare for that show and that. I mean, no offense to the Switch, but in terms of the big stuff happening this fall, like Xbox Series X and Destiny and Gears Tactics and the PlayStation 5 are I don't want to say more important than Hyrule Warriors, but they kind of need more attention than Hyrule Warriors, right? Like, I mean, I'm excited for Hyrule Warriors just as much as the next guy, but I think that the people who are going to be on that show are way more well-rounded in Zelda, especially since, you know, I don't know, David writes for Zelda Dungeon and Celeste writes for another Zelda podcast, and you're a Nintendo fan number one ground zero dude, right? You know what I mean? Like, and I just I want my main hold on, before you go.
Oh, go ahead.
My main goal is for Nintendo Power Block to be the best show it can possibly be for as long as it possibly can be that. And
yes,
right now, for that to happen, it does not include me in it, you know, as like a major part of it. And I'm okay with that. I love this show more than I think anything that we do on Boss Rush. And I want it to succeed. I want it to succeed, go above and beyond everybody's expectations all the time. I think that how distracted I've been, it doesn't allow the show to be that, which is why this decision was made. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
And I know I wouldn't be. I feel comfortable with you hosting AX, and I wouldn't be. I'd probably be like I told you. I think I would have been in the same boat if it came to Xbox. And it's not because I don't play Xbox. I was actually thinking about this. I'm just like, out of the whole team, I think I probably played the most games on all the consoles and stuff. But I know with Series X and stuff, it may seem that I've been questioning a lot of their stuff and everything. And my excitement is there, but my excitement is not like Nintendo excitement and stuff. And I hopefully, like, you can agree with me, or not agree with me, or you can see my stand with like Xbox with PlayStation 5 and everything. Is that I have ideas of those systems, but I'm excited for people who are going to play those systems when they come out and enjoy what they enjoy. The same excitement that I have for Nintendo, I hope everybody has that for the other platforms. You know, I get super excited about Nintendo stuff. Like, even if it's games that people don't care about and stuff, I get excited about it with Nintendo. But I will always root on people who are playing stuff on other consoles, who are happy to play and get those consoles and everything. I am the Spirited Away reference of the spirits dancing on it in victory because something good happened and people are enjoying what they love to enjoy. And so I hope that I even though this is about Nintendo, I'm like, I really hope that you take AX to another level, and I hope LeBron continues to take Crossroads to another level, because we all have our excitement about games, and we are in a time where we need a lot of positivity as much as we can in these times, and games in general do that. If Nintendo's bringing me joy, I hope that it does it for other people. If Xbox is bringing people joy, I know that it's going to bring me joy too. Same with PlayStation. I know that system's going to bring me joy, and I hope that it does it. So when it comes to Power Block, it's not a competition or anything with these shows. It's that I hope that it brings a lot of people joy and positivity for it, and everybody who's going to be guessing, who's going to be podcasting, who's going to be a regular or a fill-in whenever they can. I hope that the conversation still continues to be fun and everybody enjoy it.
Yeah, I think they will. Judging by Deshaun's comment. Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
I feel like I'm about to get red. Go ahead.
Ed, you beautiful man. I think it's about time you lead this show. You're exciting, positive, and overly hyped, which is what the show has been needing. I love you, my dude, and even though you infuriate me on Twitter sometimes, y'all are going to make the best Nintendo show. Also, Celeste, I see you, girl. You're an amazing addition, and y'all are better for it. I need to get some of those recipes soon. Well, Deshaun, if only you were in a massive group chat with all of us. But
can I say this to Deshaun? Deshaun, I love you. My intention is never to infuriate you. I wish that I talked to you more and everything. And hopefully, when all of this gets to back to normalcy and I come and visit Corey, hopefully I can run into you and talk to you, and you feel my love and energy for a game in general or nerd culture and stuff. And like I said, I apologize if I infuriate you and everything.
I think he's saying it in a loving way. I don't think
I'm always apologize for something.
I know you are. You should just wear a shirt that says "I'm sorry," or like hold up one of them Looney Tunes Wile E. Coyote signs that just says "sorry."
But yeah, I love you, man. Thank you for the comment. It really means a lot to me. And it means a lot to Celeste. Hopefully, it means a lot to Celeste. It probably does.
Yeah, I hope she's safe. By the way, hurricane's going through her area now, and I just she like it was last minute. I asked her to be on the episode, and we just hope she's safe and doesn't blow away or flood or whatever. I know she said that they live in like a high ground area, but still, hurricanes are no joke. So,
right.
Yeah, that's why she's not here tonight, because life's a little bit more important than risking it to be on a podcast.
Exactly.
So, but another thing I kind of want to mention is that, like I mentioned before, Daniel Murphy, who's been on the show a few times, is going to start contributing a little bit more on the podcast side. When he can. And David Lasby from Zelda Dungeon is going to, be a frequent person on the show too. So there's going to be some fresh faces that are going to talk probably a lot about Hyrule Warriors for the next 6 months. No, but seriously, I think it's good to have voices from other outlets on the show too. You know what I mean? I think it's it not only does it allow us to be friends with these people and get to know them and their tastes and have great conversations with them, but it also kind of extends our reach as a podcast, and maybe new audience can come in. And so I'm really excited to see that too, because David and Daniel, when they've been on, have been great personalities and great to talk to. Yes. And Dan on the indie side is great, obviously. David on the Zelda side is obviously great too. So I hope that they're in our group chat now. You'll probably see in the Pal Block Twitter account be more active today than it's been in like the last 2 months, because everybody has the login now. People can tweet out whatever they want. So I'm really excited. I'm glad they're excited too. It's nice to see people being excited to do something like this.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to add. Like with the Twitter thing, I hope to like put out questions and put out fun facts and do some use the Twitter thing for Power Block in a better way, not a better way, in a good way to promote and like really get the community involved with it. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's kind of like, I know that the Nintendo Partner Showcase happened today. I think you guys are just going to cover it on Monday's show.
I'm gonna we'll do it twice because I'm gonna do it for Boss Rush and for Monday.
Yeah. So I just, I kind of want to talk about Boss Rush in general now because, like I said, this is not just a Nintendo Power Block episode. It's kind of going to be like a whatever type episode, a bonus episode, whatever on feeds. I kind of want to. I said this a little bit on the other episode that I did by myself, but I kind of want. So you and I have been doing this the longest together, right? I mean,
yes.
Jesse's been with us for a while, right? But it's been you and me for so long doing stuff, whether it was for DNA, Nerds Gone Rogue, by ourselves, not by ourselves, Boss Rush, I said this the other day. I kind of think we're getting to that point where we're kind of doing too much,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think I was talking to Josh Finney about this. I love to podcast. That's what I love to do, and I love to do the Twitch live shows, right?
Yes.
That's my favorite part of Boss Rush is doing the live shows and podcasting. I've been trying for so long to have our hands in so many different baskets, so many different,
areas.
We need a YouTube presence. We need a Twitch presence. We need a podcast presence. We need a live presence. We need a writing content. We need a website. Like, I'm getting to the point where I think we're like doing way too much. I think we need to, don't get me wrong. I think people want to do video stuff if they want, right? And we're getting to that point where people want to do some videos. Maybe they want to experiment with some things, whatever. When Series X comes out, I'll probably do some quick looks of the new games and stuff. But my favorite thing to do, and the only thing I really want to do, and it kind of has taken me the last couple weeks to kind of realize this, is podcast. I don't care about making videos. I really don't. I like interacting with our live audience. I like podcasting. I like interacting with people on Twitter. But I don't care about the other stuff. And I've been, today and yesterday and the day before, I've been talking with you. I've been talking with Megan. I've been talking with Celeste. A couple other people, just to see what we can do to kind of condense what we're doing, because I feel like, just to be kind of open and honest, I feel like me personally, I'm doing too much. And it's nobody's fault. It's kind of my fault for like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's add this. Oh, you want to interview someone? You do that. You want to do a PlayStation show? You do that. Let's do this. Let's have it. And I feel like it's almost like it's the eyes are bigger than my stomach metaphor, like I see all these things that I want to do and all these things that people are doing. And, I think I'm going to throw up to continue that metaphor if I keep eating, if that makes sense. Which is, it's part of the reason why you're hosting Power Block now. It's part of the reason why we've kind of come up with a proposal of like a 4-channel divide, almost like we did with Nerds Gone Rogue, but in a more freeform fashion. I just want a podcast, man.
I know we talked about it and like being responsible for your content and everything. Podcasting takes time, and editing and getting things together takes time, and you got to find in the means of that time to do stuff. It's always, and you mentioned it a lot, Corey, that yes, you are into podcasting, you love doing it because it's the conversation that you're having with your friends, and it's bouncing off each other, and it's getting that energy and stuff. And
I
sometimes
think it's something we're good at. Like I really think that, aside from, I don't want to sound like I'm tooting our own horn or something, but like, I think all of our podcasts are great. I think they are great. I listen to some other podcasts. I really think Nintendo Power Block is better than Nintendo Voice Chat from IGN. I really do. I think we have one of the best Nintendo podcasts that I've listened to. Like all these professional Nintendo I think we're better than Easy Allies Friend Code. I think we have the personalities to drive it. I think a lot of our podcasts are great. I think Arsenal X the last couple months has gone from good to great. And our numbers have actually shown that. And I know most of it's because people are looking for Xbox stuff to listen to because they're excited for Series X and stuff. And I'm sure the number will dip a month or so after the console comes out. But like Crossroads, I think LaRon and that team are killing it. I think that it's such a great podcast. I gotta say, I like usually when I produce this show, I kind of take my headphones off and I work on something else or do something else. And I sat in on the episode last night. LaRon has a killer live presence, not just like a podcasting presence, a live presence, a live show presence. And I'm like, I know it's a family show, but I'm like, damn, he's good. Like, he's so good at the live show side of the podcast. And I'm like, I've actually tried to implement some of that into Arsenal X this coming week, right? Like, he's so good at it. And like, I think our shows are great. I love our podcasts. And if that's all we did, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I think with creating content, you want to make sure that you're hitting different areas and that you get good at it. The consistency stuff, that varies a lot. We are consistent on our podcast, whether we record it or we do it live. We are consistent. The topics, they vary from show to show, different things. Sometimes we might surprise the audience and the listeners that we're not speaking on topics that everybody else is speaking on, or if we are speaking on it, we're coming at it at a different angle and everything. And it's always good to hear a different voice and get different people on and talk and everything. So it's just like that flow. I always say in Boss Rush Boss Rush podcast, and I tweet this out, when you post a link and stuff, I always be like, everybody go get your lunch and come join us when we go live. Or if we not live and we're recording, I always make sure everybody got something to drink or something to eat and stuff. And it feels like a hangout. It feels like that we're talking, and we want to put that out to the world to be like, we don't want you to be feeling left out. So grab a snack or something and hang out with us and listen to this recorded podcast and stuff. And it's always full of laughs, and it's full of positivity. And when it feels like it's a disagreement or anything, it's still a form of love. It's still a form of respect. And I always, I do it a lot. Jesse knows that I'm always apologizing for stuff. It's not to get him mad and everything, because my thing is, I don't want people to be like, oh, they don't like each other or anything. It's not that. I don't want my guests or my co-hosts or my teammates to feel like I made you upset because of this certain reason. No, my thing is, if I feel like I did something, I I want to apologize to it and make it right, so that when you come back next week, that we are still the best of friends and we still are laughing and talking about games and stuff and still being happy and supportive of each other. You know, and when it comes to the writing, I think that's why on BRP, I always be like, yo, this is what's going on in the week of the podcast. If you miss it, go check it out. This is some writing stuff that is out. Go check these people who wrote these blogs and reviews. I do my best, hopefully, to promote our work and everything. Because I told Celeste on the 1v1 that if I'm not creating, I get bored. I feel like I'm not contributing to anything. So if I'm not podcasting, if I'm not researching, if I'm not playing a game to talk about or something, or sometimes I play a game for enjoyment and stuff and make my comment and everything. But I'm just like, if I don't feel like I'm creating anything, I literally get bored, and I don't ever want to feel that way. You know, I get hyped when I get to be a guest on the podcast or I get to host and stuff. And regardless of my hot takes are hot or crazy, it's good that I get to be able to voice my opinion about something, because I don't have no outlet to do that. And yes, my grammar sucks, but thank God for Celeste and our other teammates for their editing powers. Hey, I still thank you for my Yoshi review. I wouldn't have that review out and looking the way that it looks without your help and stuff. So
I just, I think that we all have a creative passion for this. I think we all have I don't want to say it's an issue, because I don't think it is an issue. I think what's happening right now is we all are creative and we all want to do so many different things that, we've all kind of spread ourselves thin, right? Like I had this discussion with Logan the other day when he asked if he could like take a break from stuff. I'm like, yeah, dude, like nobody's telling you not to. And then I tried to make sure, like, to tell everybody, like, after we had that conversation, I was like, look, guys, if you need a break, if you need some sort of, take a week off, 2 weeks off, whatever, don't hesitate to ask, like
and we tell you that too. We tell you to take a week off.
I'm never going to.
But I think that's the one thing that you should take into account, that even if we don't have a week of content or anything, we can always be like, check out this show or check out our classic episodes. Get a more of a feel of Boss Rush in our history. Come check out the stuff that we do. Check out Pod and Play and hear our discussions. Like, we have enough content out there that we all could take a break and get refocused. So when it feels like we don't have to rush or feel like we drain, when we come back to hit the recording thing, it's going to be amazing, because it's going to be like we're back with our friends, we're back with our listeners, and we're here, we're refreshed, we're energized, and we're going to be able to give you guys a great show. No one is missing anything.
Yeah, I thought about
if we all.
I mean, it's a little late now, but I thought about actually like saying, look, let's just all take next week off. I wanted to do it a couple weeks ago, but then so much news happened. So much news happened within like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, we got to do stuff. Like if we like, I don't want to be late on this stuff, but like.
Dude, the CD Projekt Red thing alone is a discussion. I know it's kind of tiring to have, but it's just like when BRP Saturday, and I know it's going to be recorded. BRP Saturday is going to be bonkers because of that. People being mad at Jason Schreier, and now people are being mad at CD Projekt Red. So it's just like we're gonna have to conversate about this. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I thought about, like, especially with all the new consoles and the new games coming out in the not next week, but the week after, I was like, I was thinking, like, why don't we just take the week off before all of this stuff drops, and then come back fresh the next week and cover these new consoles? And I'm still thinking about sending that to the group. Like, let's take next week off. Let's chill. I mean, maybe we do Tower Casuals because there is some Destiny stuff going on, but like just
a vid dot.
Yeah, and just kind of chill for a week and come back refreshed. New consoles are dropping. Zelda's coming. I'm seriously considering it, and
I say.
And if whoever's listening to this, like I know Celeste listens, I know LaRon listens to these bonus episodes and stuff, like if that's an idea you think is a good idea, just message us in the group chat and say, hey, I think your week off idea is a great idea. And if people want to do content, then like I'm not going to stop you from doing anything, but like just like the live stuff, the recording podcasts, that kind of thing, just maybe we just take a week off and then come back fresh the next week. And
if I was thinking, if a lot of stuff does happen and we can't take time off the week of Thanksgiving, that's it. Let everybody take that week.
Well, on holiday weeks, we're not doing content, right? Like, I even think like.
That's what I said. The week of Thanksgiving, like no AX, no Pablo, like nothing that week.
I mean, also what I was thinking is like the Christmas, the week of Christmas, the week of New Year's, like maybe we just take those last 2 weeks off, and then that first week back we just do our game of the year discussions that week on all the shows.
That's literally fair.
Because there's so many games coming out. I mean, you got Immortals and Cyberpunk, and of course the biggest game of the year, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, coming out in December.
Yes. That's me.
And like nobody's gonna finish Immortals or Cyberpunk or whatever new Destiny content is that week. You know what I mean? In the time it's gonna take us to do game of the year stuff, like let's just give people a couple weeks off, come back fresh. Maybe have our revamped content list for January, and I mean, I know I'm thinking like 2 months in advance, but that's the way I think about things. And if I just want I want Boss Rush games to succeed in so many ways that I can't stop myself from thinking about doing things a certain way, Right. And that's on me. I had a conversation with Megan, and she said, look, you need to just like chill and trust your team to do the content that they want to do, that you want them to do. And I talked to LaRon a little bit the other day. I want to talk to him a little bit more. And like if we do that 4-channel split, maybe Exodus becomes the official PlayStation and PC channel of Boss Rush, And then like, of course, if like hypothetically, if that happens, Crossroads will be there. His whatever PC garbage he's doing.
It's not PC garbage.
I know. I'm just kidding.
PC content.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. Everybody chill. It's a joke. Whatever PC stuff he wants to do, if he gets like a 3080 super duper pooper fan thing, I don't know.
Turbo graphics.
Yeah.
16 chip.
Yep. If he gets the super FX chip for his PC. Like if he wants to do an Xbox video for that channel, whatever, do it. Like this, I mean, this is what I've been working on, and I'll probably send a letter to the team tomorrow, which is Thursday, and people can read it, whatever. All the channels will have the freedom to create what they want to create, and the podcast will highlight each channel, right? But whatever content you want to do on that channel, just do it, and everybody will have a template for the website to post it, and the website will be the hub for everybody's creative vision. And this is where Boss Rush becomes the umbrella instead of the product. Yeah. I've been thinking about that for so long, about Boss Rush just being an umbrella for content creators to come create stuff, and we've had so many people help us throughout the years become bigger and push ourselves and everything that I want to repay upcoming creators and people who want to try things and put things through pilot programs and everything, and just like Boss Rush becomes this umbrella for creators to push their content the way that Rooster Teeth kind of does, you know, like Rooster Teeth is this huge, I mean, we're never going to be Rooster Teeth, right? I mean, maybe one day we will, but I doubt it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they have podcasts, they have the Let's Play Network, where, you know, that's where Kind of Funny exists. That's where What's Good Games exists. That's where Funhouse exists. You know, they have their anime stuff. That's where Ruby lives. That's where all their, you know what I mean? Like, they have all these different facets underneath them, but it's still like Rooster Teeth, right? And that's what I kind of think I want Boss Rush to be, is like Boss Rush, and then there's all these little tentacles coming down. Okay, here's LaRon, here's the Exodus 803 channel. Oh, PlayStation podcast from Boss Rush Games exists on this channel? Cool, that's awesome. I'm going to subscribe to this channel and see what else LaRon does. What else does he do? Oh, who's this Nelly girl? Oh, she streams? I'm going to check out her Twitch channel. Oh, I can go to bossrushgames.com/live and watch her stream when she streams. Oh, that's cool. Oh, she also writes. Oh, who's this Austin guy? Oh, Austin talks about sports. I like sports. Let's check out Trash Talk. You know what I mean? And like, have people, have Boss Rush Games be this umbrella where people can find and discover and see what other people are doing. You know, oh, Boss Rush, the Arsenal channel. Oh, Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. That's cool. Oh, they also have a Destiny show here. Let's check that out. Oh, you can watch them play and stream Destiny here. Oh, you know, Jesse makes music. Let's check out his SoundCloud channel, because, you know, he's on the podcast and he made the music he made the theme song for this podcast. That's cool. Let's check out what else he has to do. Oh, Josh has a really hilarious Twitter feed. Let's go to his Twitter and check it out. You know what I mean? Like, this is...
Look, you know, my guilty tail would be trying to throw a whole bunch of Xbox stuff on here. Be like, we got some Japanese Xbox game that you guys doesn't know Nintendo.
You'd be really proud of me. I brought up Lost Odyssey on the episode last week, so
I seen it. I was happy. I'm like, oh yes, a game that I still need to work on.
Side tangent. One of the best Final Fantasy games nobody's ever played, because it was a JRPG on the Xbox 360. So,
oh, you know what? 500% agree. Like, no doubt.
I mean, Blue Dragon was good, but Lost Odyssey is
another game that
I seriously think Lost Odyssey is one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. I actually just re-downloaded it Monday, because it has Xbox One X enhancements, and I think they're going to have Series X enhancements at some point for it.
Wasn't it free at one point?
It was free. That's how I got it digitally. I have the physical version. That's how I got it. But it was free. So I think it's still free. It's like just one of those lingering free games that you can get. Like Too Human is also one of those games. Not that you want to play Too Human, but anyways, back to like the discussion. Like,
I was debating about that.
And like you and I talked about, the Nintendo Power Block team is going to run Boss Rush Prime, which it's the current Boss Rush Games channel, right? But it's going to be whatever we figure out Boss Rush podcast to be moving forward, which there's been a couple proposals of things that people have ideas for. I don't know. I know you're kind of running that show and the expansion pack stuff. We'll talk about it, but that's where PAL Block's going to live. That's where our 1v1s are going to live, our interviews, and anything that's kind of like, you know, if we bring standard definition back, which I still really want to do at some point, but I need to figure out a schedule for it first. Obviously it won't be live, but I just think Umbrella, like a good example, right? I have not reached out to him. I have not talked to him, but Brian Kirk, Will-O-Wisp, who's been on a couple of our episodes of certain things before, was trying to figure out what he wanted to do creatively, right? He did a couple episodes of Arsenal X. He's been on a couple episodes of Tower Casuals. he streamed a little bit, didn't really connect with the streaming thing, did a couple YouTube things, didn't really connect, started a podcast. Guess what? Turns out he's a great podcaster, great interviewer, right? Like, I would like to give him a page under a Boss Rush, on the Boss Rush website, right? Like just a page for his interviews, and people can just listen to his interviews, you know?
Yeah.
It's called Player versus Creator, by the way. It's kind of like our 1v1, but it's more of like really getting into the deep diving of people's creativity and like what drives them and what they create and stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I don't know, man. I know that sounds like a crazy idea, and it sounds like a lot of work, and it is, like, all of this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm trying to streamline our process so we can help other people who are creating have a home if they want it, and allow people to have creative freedom to do whatever they want. As long as it follows our mantra, which is, you know, play games, be better, not excluding anybody because of what they believe or, you know, whatever. As long as you're a good, decent person and you're positive and you respect the Boss Rush brand and name, you have a home here. I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what your religion is. As long as you are happy, as long as you are positive, as long as you are respect our mantra, our teammates, and our channels, and our what we believe in as a team, then creators have a home here. You know.
Yes.
That's my overall vision for what Boss Rush Games is going to be someday. I don't really know what else to say about that. I you know, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything you want to? Because, like, I don't want to just talk like I'm the leader. You and I are partners here, right? Like, we started this together. Do you have ideas of what? Like, do I have any bad ideas? Do I have good ideas? Are they just?
I think so all great ideas. It's the time and execution of getting them done, and to make sure that people, you know, if you're going to do some content, if it feels like it's a seasonal show, do it as a seasonal show. You know, if you feel like you guys could continue to do this and you want to do it every 2 weeks, do it every 2 weeks and stuff. If the responsible, and make sure that what's going to be responsible, that everybody, that you find the time to be able to make that content, because we all have different work schedules. We all don't have the same 9-to-5 work schedule. I am guilty of that. I don't have a 9-to-5. I have a 9-to-5, but I don't have a Monday to Friday 9-to-5. My stuff is I'm used whenever it's used, and if I gotta fill in something, I gotta fill in something. So I gotta try to make time for the content that I want to make or need to make and stuff. So I agree with everything that you said. I told the team, and I even told Megan, I'm just like, I want to make sure that if we do stuff like this, let's all be on the same level. Let's all be ready to be committed to do this stuff, because we don't want to have this high and then we don't fulfill what people are expecting from us, or what they want from us, because we want to deliver great quality content, but we want to make sure that if we do this, we got to know when we got to be consistent in everything. So, like, spotlighting the creator, and if they want their contents to be under Boss Rush to host, that's great. You know, that's more exposure for that person. And you know us, you tweet it out, we'll tweet it out too. We'll retweet it, or we'll go to that link and tweet it out and say a comment and stuff. Be like, hey, check this out if you're interested in it. And, you know, and the more that we tweet out and move that content out there, more exposure is going to be there and everything. You know, we want to help, like we said, we want to help people be able to create and feel good about their creativity. And if you get something that's going to be like, if you're going to get criticism or get critique, you know, don't let it get you down if it's bad, you know. Keep your head up and keep focused and keep doing what you're doing, because what you're when you're creating, you're doing more than what someone just does when they're criticized. You know, you're the one that gets to be making content that's going to live, quote unquote, forever on the internet. But it's going to be like, I'm proud at the stuff that I'm proud of the stuff that I make and stuff. You need to have that mentality and have that feeling. Trust me, I get a lot of that at times. But I think what you said, Corey, is great. It is everything. I think my thing is just like, make sure that we make the time and we make the commitment and stuff. Because I'm still trying to do. I'm trying to get recap off the ground. I have some episodes in the pipeline, and I'm talking about myself. But I believe in recap of watching old movies that we've seen before, talking about it and see if they still hold up and what we feel about them, where do we laugh and stuff. And I love when my guests tell me about some movie that I didn't see. I go out and buy it and watch it and be like, okay, I love this movie. I had this problem with this movie and everything, and I would do that, you know. And I'm responsible for recap. I try. I thank my boss for allowing me to do it and getting it all snazzy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you had something you wanted to do, so we did it, you know. I know I need to get those episodes edited and get them up on an expansion pack, but like, I don't care what people do. I just want people to have the creative freedom and do what they feel like they want to do, and that's the whole point of this, is to let's just be ourselves. Let's just do what we want to do. Let's just figure out how we can streamline the process and really just make our content shine the way we know it can, you know. Because I mean, I don't feel like I've been the best host recently because A, I haven't really kept up on things, and B, because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember the last time I got more than 5 hours of sleep. But
which we'll probably be wrapping this up soon.
Yeah, well, probably like 10 more minutes. Okay. I don't want to stay too long, because I do want to have like a Boss Rush team leadership meeting at some point, you know, with like maybe not everybody, but just the people who might be running these channels and stuff. You know, like you, Celeste, me, Jesse, LaRon, you know, maybe Josh. I don't know. I just want to have a good conversation about who's running what and kind of what to expect from that. But you know, I really enjoy what we've been doing lately. I just, you know I should probably take a break at some point, but I also am like, I want to sit down one day and just, you know, sit down with you and teach you how to, you and LaRon, how to use OBS for live shows or whatever. And I know LaRon knows how to use it for solo streaming, right? Like when he's streaming Monster Hunter or Mass Effect or whatever. But like the way that I use OBS, I have a second monitor with the Skype call open, and I literally have that window shrunken down onto the OBS on my other screen, right? Because that's how it works. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and time that I need to make time for it on a day that you are off and a day that LaRon can spare some time. And that's on me too, you know, like just not showing people what to do because everybody has, I mean, a couple people have reached out and said they're willing to help, and I'm very appreciative of that. I just need to sit down and first of all, I need to figure out what program you're using to edit so I can learn it, so I can show you how to use it. But I want to, the last thing I want to say before we kind of wrap this up, I know we've been going a little bit longer than I kind of expected. That's not, I mean, I should have expected that. ironically. But
I apologize.
I am extremely proud of what we've done so far on Boss Rush Games. I think I am extremely proud of our team. I'm extremely proud of you. You know, like I know when, you know, just to get a little personal, I guess, I know when Nerds Gone Rogue ended and, you know, some things were kind of said to you and about you, and that kind of upset me. But like when it ended, and I was devastated when Nerds Gone Rogue ended, and I almost stopped doing all this completely, and you were the one that kind of said keep going, you know, and we got through it, and you got me through it, and I'm extremely grateful for you. You know, I'm extremely grateful that Boss Rush Games exists, and
I even when NGR ended and stuff, I was always, my thing is I want to continue to make content with you. I'm a grown adult. I don't really, if whatever people see me and think of me, go ahead and do it, because you're not paying my bills, you're not paying my phone bills, you're not buying my games, you're not making the content that I make. Do what you need to do. You know, we had our ups and downs and everything, but I'm sticking with you because we have had these conversations. Like I said, I couldn't do content like the content I do by myself. I couldn't do this content without you. I wouldn't even have tried to do it. I would still been doing optional opinion and stuff, but I'm just like, I would have been like, I miss talking about Nintendo. I miss talking about PlayStation. I miss talking about Xbox. I miss talking about stuff with you, and I would have been stuff talking about with Jesse and everything, and hanging out. And even if we didn't podcast and stuff, like, I don't want to lose that friendship, because I think even after everything would have been said and done, even if we didn't do Codename and Exo Boss Rush, I'd never want to end that friendship, because I would feel like I feel like I lost a family member, and that hurt, and that would have just hurt me like crazy. And so I if it feels like I push you to go on, because I believe in you. I believe in the dream and the goal that you want to achieve, and if I can help you to reach that, I'm gonna do everything that I can for you to reach it. I don't know.
Like I said, like, if Boss Rush Games ended tomorrow, if, you know, all this, whatever we've been working on and working towards, ended tomorrow, we would still do something, you know, like we would still do a podcast or a version of a podcast every week, or, you know, when we had time for it, because like this is how we connect. This is our friendship. This is our, you know, I, like you said, like, if we didn't do this and I lost you as a partner, really, like, it's like losing a family member, and I don't want to lose that. Like, I will do my best to do something continue this show until, I mean, not to get morbid, until like one of us is dead or can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I really see that. Like, I don't see us ever not doing this at least once a week.
And this includes, of course, the team, but this includes Jesse too. Like, just meeting Jesse, just like actually getting a chance to hang out with you, and actually get a chance to hang out with Jesse, it means more to me. And so I want to take that into account. Just be like, I don't want to lose what I have built with you guys and you ladies and you gals and stuff. I don't want to lose what I built with the community and stuff and everything. Yes, I need to get back into optional and everything, but I'm like, this positivity and this joy is what I need. This outlet is what I need and everything. And the day that it comes to an end, I could truly say that I have spent this amount of plus years making this content with a group of fantastic humans, of fantastic people, of fantastic diverse people, that we all had our ups and downs, we all had our challenges, and we overcame them. And if anybody wants to say that, if anybody wants to say that we haven't did enough, I'd be like, we got 6+ some years of content that's out there that you could go and check out, and that content is going to continue to grow until we are so like Eminem says, I'm a rapper until I'm fossil fuel, but I'm gonna be podcasting and creating with this crew till I'm fossil fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I take it. I tell Jesse, I'm like, I love when you make music, and every time I hear it, I wish I was in the studio with you making music. I'm not the producer, but you know that I hear things like crazy. When I talk to LaRon, like, I really want to hang out with Nelly. I really want to talk to her, and I haven't got the time to talk to Nelly, and I want to, because it's just like, she's the only BRG crew member I haven't gotten a chance to hang out to. But being on her Twitch stream, doing Lara Croft puzzles on Rise of the Tomb Raider, I got excited because it felt like we all worked as a team, and I was just like, I wish I could talk to you, hang out with you more and everything. But yeah, I'm going to be we're going to create till we fossil fuel. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So,
and yes, I will be reading Breath of the Wild before the November 20th. I'm going to put that work in.
Still haven't beaten it, huh?
I'm actually doing what you're doing, is collect the shrines, and try to get my heart and stamina stuff up. And then I'm just going to look at a guy, or not so, well, yeah, a guy, to see what I need to do to prepare for the last champion, the Gerudo, not Gerudo, the lava mountain, the hot mountain.
Yeah. Well, Ed, we're gonna kind of wrap this up. This is, like I said, this is Nintendo Power Block episode 219, but it's also gonna act as the 1v1 for this week. And I really, Ed, besides you, I want to thank everybody who is involved in Boss Rush. Jesse for the music and the Xbox stuff, Josh for starting Tower Casuals with me again, and really doing a Destiny podcast the way I think it should be. I think I'm the worst part of that show, to be honest with you. It's exciting to see, when Joe comes on, or Nerd Journalist comes on, or A1 Johnny comes on that show. It's like I love Destiny, but there's people out there, like, we talk about Nintendo and Zelda and stuff. There's people that talk about Destiny like that, and it excites me every time, every Thursday. So I want to thank, Joe for coming on and doing a Xbox show with almost complete strangers, really. Like, we've played Destiny like one time, and he's like, okay, sure. LaRon and Nelly and Austin and Logan for starting Crossroads and giving us a real PlayStation presence for the first time in a long time.
Yes.
Celeste for, like, really just kind of hanging out with us, like, after that first episode. And I was like, remember, Ed, I texted you, I was like, can we keep her?
Exactly. I think even before we got into podcasting, it was just like 10 minutes into the conversation, I'm like, oh, I love her. Like, that's it. Like, and it, like I said, when we meet creators and we talk and we hang out and we laugh, it always feels like we've known each other for years. And this is our first time talking and stuff. Yeah.
So I want to thank Celeste for all the work she's put in with the interviews and POW Block, and I know it's a lot, and it's probably more than she signed up for, especially with doing another Zelda podcast and stuff, their blogs and their show and stuff. I want to thank Deshaun and Megan, who have kind of been there since day 1/day 0. I don't know. It's been so long at this point. So who am I missing? I gotta go through the lineup of each show.
You pretty much got everybody. I
mean,
and, you know,
Daniel and David
Daniel
for
and David.
contributing to the Nintendo stuff. And anybody who's ever guested and joined us or was with us and left, you know, like, I'm so thankful that Ray did this with us for as long as he did, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm extremely proud of his success. You know, he's at Twitch
Me too.
now, working at Twitch now, and like, that's a big deal. That's a huge thing for him. I'm so excited for him. You know, everybody, Zombie Kills, who, you know, is like one of the biggest streamers now, worked with us for a while. Like, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of, you know, I'm proud of everyone who we've worked with. I'm proud of the people who, like, our friends who do stuff without us, you know, like Secret Friends Unite and the Co-op Mode podcast, Luke Lore and Expansion Pack. I'm so incredibly proud of the
Kami Jace with
Kami Jace and Weekly Cooldown. Like, I know I'm going to forget somebody. I'm extremely proud of our friends and our community and our, like, just everybody, you know, like,
I love you, Big Chips and Twinsy. Thank you guys for like guessing with us, and like, thank you, Twinsy, for doing like the Pride panel. Like, that's a big thing. That's a big thing for Boss Rush. It's like, we even Cam, when we was doing the Black Lives Matter panel, like, this is something new for us. Like, we've never did panels and stuff like that. And MJ coming in for doing the Mass Effect stuff. Like,
yeah, that 3-hour Mass Effect episode. Thanks, Ed. That was, I'm sure LeBron and MJ really wanted to like slap you for going 3 hours.
How about they was into it and they were just like, we could talk 10 hours about this.
I'm just kidding. But we've met so many great people, so many cool people, so many, you know, I'm just extremely proud of the people we've met and the people who are doing creative things, and that we are able to share this space with everybody. So, and thank you. Thank you, Megan, for keeping me in check sometimes with the content and convincing me that we need to narrow it down a little bit. And Deshaun, just for being a positive force in our group. You know, it's sorry, when I get tired, I start rambling and I just don't want to forget. I don't want to forget anybody. I'm extremely grateful. You know,
yeah. What else can we say? How about we get into these plugs?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to plug anything. I'm extremely grateful. I want to thank everybody for watching Boss Rush, whether you're new here, whether this is your first episode. Well, I'm really sorry if this is your first episode, but, if you've been a fan since day one, or you're just joining us, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, reviewing, rating our shows. Please support our friends and our creators. This is kind of just the beginning of this, and you know, yeah. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. And next week is a new episode, a new era of Nintendo Pow Block. A new era for Expansion Pack and Boss Rush podcast. So you can check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com. I want to thank everybody for watching. And until next week, we love you.
And you already know what to do before we go.
Jeez, I'm not doing the woohoos, Ed.
Come on, you have to do it.
Woohoo!
Yes! That's it. Now, everybody, the transfer is complete.